Alright, it's finally nice weather. I mean, it's like almost 68 degrees today. Super nice. Past couple days I built Karlas carburetor. This was just an old 750. Blasted it and cleaned it and painted it and baked it and got it looking, kind of looks like a Pro Form. It's not. We did it to match the valve covers and everything else. So now I'm just putting the fuel rail on it. This is a 757 70 jet primary, 80 jet secondary, 6.5 power valve blocked off secondary. Should run really good on this motor. Alright, she's scuffing up the front end. We're going to try to get all these like spots like that down. You see all this imperfections and stuff, which we're going to have to take it down again, but just to get it black. Got the headers off, cleaning them up, painting them. Then master cylinder and brakes, which I got the new lines run. Just got to put the calipers and stuff on. Alright, header painted and back on. Carb stuff's on. Got new master cylinder on it. Doing the lines. Got a belt for it finally. Got a lower radiator hose. The top one they give us was the wrong one. Now we're getting the car jacked up. Gonna put the exhaust on it and then fire it up and tune the carburetor in and set the timing. I think so. Yep. Alright, we got the exhaust on it. I gotta cut that other one and turn it up like I did this one. We're gonna be up out of the way. But for right now, this will be fine. We just want to get some sort of exhaust on so I can listen to the motor. We got to go get some gas and an upper radiator hose. But yeah, valves will run, reset again. That's looking, we got to put our gauges in. I'm going to make a panel for that. Just got to run and get the upper hose and some gas. Right? Is that it? All right then, let's do that and come back here. I'll do a compression test. Every cylinder's so far 2, 4, 6, 8, and 1, 3. I'm about to test 5 and 7. Every one of them's within 118 to 120 crank compression because this is a 9.89 to 1 static compression with a lot of duration on the cam, and the intake valve closing point is I think like 78. So it's bleeding off a lot of cylinder pressure. So don't think it's a turd motor because it's got low crank compression, because that's not the case at all. It all comes in at a certain RPM, like probably 4,000 to 6,000, this thing a really freight train. But all the cylinders are pretty much equal, which means that she's healthy. So that's good. Fuel pump will be here next week, electric fuel pump. We're going to put a fuel pump on it because I don't ever run mechanical pumps on anything, and I just don't like them. I mean, I know they're kind of foolproof and everything else, but you can't adjust the pressure, you can't adjust the volume. I mean, it's just kind of you just get what you get with them. I like to be able to flip a pump on, adjust the float levels in the carburetor, fire it up, and it be clean and work just like it's supposed to. No fluctuations. But other than that, everything, the distributor and everything's good. She's going to order some different plug wires.
And a push button key switch.
Yeah, she don't like it.
Because this thing's a piece of shit.
It is. It's the original, and it's we take them out of everything.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely getting there.
Oh yeah, we can get all this crap out of the inside and put the seats and stuff in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just don't look at the inside.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's just cluttered because we ain't got nowhere to put all the stuff.
Yeah.
Put the shifters in, the cables run under there. Just got to hook it up to the transmission, put the cooler lines on it. I'm gonna buy probably 20 foot of fuel line and run from the back. I'm gonna put a pickup, a sump thing in the tank, mount the tank, have that where it gravity feeds the fuel pump. Set the fuel pump to like 9 or 12 psi. Run up here to the regulator, regulate it down to about 7, and this whole engine will be extremely happy then. You give her the ignition and give her the fuel supply. Let me spin it around with the ignition off and prime the fuel. All right.
Yeah,
me turn the idle down just a smidge. Oh, that was the hood.
I was gonna say, did you get that?
It stopped itself.
Thanks to the OHEI.
We'll have to repaint that.
Yeah. We was gonna have to anyway. Oops.
All right, I turned it down just a little bit. All right, go ahead and. Pump can't keep up the volume to the bowls, so as soon as you go to start to rev it, because that fuel pump ain't very good, as soon as you go to start to rev it, it empties the bowl and it starts it for fuel. You can hear the lean spot where she's running out of pump shot. So we'll put the electric pump on it and it'll make it way better. That'll be next week. It's just nice to hear my old cam again.
Yeah.
All right, well that's a wrap. Better ignition, get the fuel pump on it. Sounds good. That was a lot better than it did. That's a wrap, man. All right, we're pulling this garbage cam out. The cam I got is going to make power much higher, 4,000 to 8,000. This one's 2006 and it just sucks. And it just keeps killing plugs because I got way too much carb, way too much intake for only a 224 duration cam. So, head's too big, intake's too big, carb's too big.
Take them a while to get that season. I know these cars.
It just keeps fouling plugs, and I ain't never had nothing to foul plugs like this, and I've leaned the carbs out as far as I'll go, and it just sucks. So we'll put a real cam in it now.
He hates to stay on that.
Yeah. That's what we're gonna do. So pull everything off, and I installed pop-up lifters, solid roller pop-up lifters, that when you take the load off the rockers, boom, they pop up.
He said, I was going for the mile street thing. I said, well, your mile street thing is pretty radical to everybody else, so.
Yeah, so.
Mile will still be blah, 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 blah.
The new cam's a 260, 270 on a 112 lobe separation. It is a blower boost nitrous cam, a 540, 560 lift. So it's still mild lift, but a lot of duration. So it'll use every bit of all this, happily.
Chirp second.
So that's what's happening. And I'm going to put the 7/16 studs back in, but different rockers, get rid of the 1/6 ratio, go back to 1/5 ratio, because I don't need the 1/6 for the new cam. So out with the 525, 525, 224, 224, and a 110, and in with the big cam.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So that's what's happening.
Yep.
Alright, it ain't been that long, probably 30 minutes. I got everything tore off and down to the cam. Rockers are off, and lifters popped up just like they're supposed to. So, take all this off the cam, just slide right out. I gotta pull the distributor. And we'll be able to get it out of there and put the new one in. Or the old new one. New to me. It's old used, but it's new to me. Alright, so lifters are up and cam is on its way out and everything looks fine. But new cam is in. All greased up and slid into place. Alright, everything's back together. It's been back together for a while now. We're just doing, I'm converting from 3/8 stud over to 7/16 studs. Then put the 7/16 studs in, and these rockers that I got won't clear nothing. So I got a collection here. 7/16 wouldn't clear. Ground and ground and ground still won't clear. So to run these rockers, I'd have to have a plus 200 push rod to get the alignment on them right. So, and these are 3/8, and I don't want to run 3/8 because the RPM I'm going to be turning, it bends them. Every time I go above 7 with 3/8 screw and studs, it bends them. So, not run 3/8. And those are 3/8 also. Those are really good rockers. They're 1/6s though. And 1/6 would be almost 600 lift on a solid roller, and that's not very good for streeting. So, have these other Harlan Sharps that are hard clearanced, and so that's what's stuck on there.
So, yeah.
That were off Colton's motor that he won't be able to use because the new heads he's got 1.550 springs, not 1.46 springs. So it just won't clear. So Colton's going to give him some new rockers. Has to anyhow. What are you looking for? Yeah, I didn't advance or retard the cam this go around. I put it in straight up because this cam's got 5 degrees. The vent's already in it. And it's so big, the intake valve closing point's so far, I don't have to retard it to run the boost that I want to run. That's like we've been digging through rockers and trying to find the combination. This is the mass we've collected over the years of rockers and whatnot. But M7/16, these are the KMJ Performance 7/16. And if you had, the reason they don't work is because the valves on them heads are plus 100 valves, which makes them a lot taller. So it throws the geometry off, and you can't run it with geometry messed up because it'd be bad. You'll wear out your valves and everything else. So, put the Harlan Sharps on. That I had the clearance too. I had to clearance them already before too. Make rockers that clear, people.
Make all of them just expensive.
Yeah, well, make some for the budget-minded person that clear. Up to 1.550 spring. Help us out. But I think we got the combination. He's pulling this rocker apart because it's tight. He's trying to pull it apart.
It's hard to get apart because they're tight.
Putting the top end back together, then set the valves, change plugs on that side, and start this thing.
See if they start up there, boys.
Yeah. Alright, everything's back on. Dad's going to get that block off for the exhaust leak where the wastegate's supposed to go. Open up the carburetors back up like they usually are for the big cam, and adjust the mixer screws out one full turn all the way around for my big duration cam. So, alright, here we go. Do what? Alright, we're pulling these plugs out and putting a set of auto lights in it. Because I ain't got no new plug, you can't go get none nowhere. So, them ones is fouled, and they were fouled beforehand, so we fired it up. It's still got dead mess over there. Just take them all out and throw them.
Oh, shit.
No, it's just way too red. That's from the old cam. That's the number one that I left in it.
Ain't that loose?
Do what?
25 ain't that loose.
Well, I wasn't looking at the tech. That's what I was assuming.
They was pulling just fine right there.
Yeah. It'll probably leave it about 3 or 4 pounds. It's back to doing like with the small cam, it was building almost 5 pounds right there. This one's building 3 or 4 pounds. So that more duration's bleeding off a little bit. But I don't care, it sounds better.
Oh yeah.
It'll make good power on the boost.
Sounds good to me.
But it didn't, you hear it didn't try to hiccup or stumble like
No, I mean, that's why I just want, it just sounded like it's pulling strong right there. The brakes is holding good though, it's putting proper pressure on it.
Well, it's still, it ain't the 20 inches of vacuum like it was before. Now it's about 12. So,
See?
12 or 13.
Still bigger cam, a little less vacuum. Be alright. Sounds good.
But
right
you wouldn't
there.
think it's a 112 low separation. Like, I mean, it's...
It sounds good.
It sounds similar to a 106.
I think it sounds good.
I'm happy with it. Let's call it and throw all this crap inside there and we'll be done for tonight. Come out here tomorrow and maybe take it up a road.
Yeah.
Because I got my fuel pressure working. I got to put the wastegate wire, hook that up.
Well, I mean, did it be a little boost of fuel pressure moving at all?
Oh yeah, fuel pressure was moving.
Well, it must have been making a little bit.
All right, but that's a wrap until tomorrow. So we're tuning and tweaking and I'll take it up a road. And I had to build these real quick because the other day the wind blew and kicked my front end forward and broke my brackets. Hurricane gust winds. Right. In the meantime, we are shortening the dry shaft. See? Grind that out till you see the point and knock it out with a hammer. You can true it back up, weld it up, and it'll be good. We hope. We're gonna try.
He said it'd work, and if it didn't,
just grind out all the weld till you see that seam and hit it with a hammer.
there's a lot of weld in there.
A lot of weld. Luckily we got a good welder. They got to weld it up, no problem. I'll put it on 4 and just go to town. Rather than have to do that, you take and you measure from a square point up to where you want it. And you dremel the inside of that out. Knock this in and measure and square it, tack it, test fit it, weld it. Yeah. We've never done this before. So I'm telling you how to do it when I've never done it myself.
It might wobble double.
We cut it pretty straight for a cutting wheel. Alright, so we tapped that in there, measured, and got it pretty much perfect. Perfect enough for us. And now I'm going to put a tack on it. And that's going to put it in a truck and test it. Yes, put the yoke on it. I was going to attempt to go do street dyno today, but it keeps attempting to rain, and I still got to change plugs, set the timing, and mess with the carburetors a little bit. So maybe later today, I don't know, we'll see. If not, next Saturday. This side always sounds a little gurgly. So I got to thinking, I need to put new plugs in. So I'll get new NGKs and go to put them in. And this thing ran great last night. Number 2 and number 8 cylinders soaking wet. So I'm like, what could be going on with this thing? So I'm like, I'll pull the carburetors off. Maybe there's a gasket somewhere that's gone bad and it's seeping fuel. And sure enough, I pull it off. Well, the puddle's starting to evaporate. There's a puddle right there. It's trickling, running right into number 2. Gaskets is probably wore out and they're starting to seep fuel, and they're seeping fuel down into the motor while it sets. And it's what keeps fouling the plugs. So for the first time in a very long time, I have separated them from the linkage. I'm gonna pull them apart and run through them, and I'm gonna fix everything. I'm gonna make them much gooder. But I built this thing a long time ago and tuned them and had them like working amazing with the tunnel ram setup. No hesitation, no stumble. They were perfect. So I'm gonna do that again. They just need some TLC. I might even take them and blast them and do them like I did Karlas carburetor and recoat them, make them look better. But I'm not too concerned about how they look versus how they work. Yeah, I did open up the power valve restrictor circuits in them and drilled out the check ball and all that stuff to make them work with boost. That's all I've really done to them, aside from when I first built them all them years ago to work on the tunnel ram. And they've been flawless. I mean, every day you come out, fired up, drive it anywhere, no issues. Aside from a needle and seat every once in a while, and, you know, changing the float out every now and again, stuff like that, just minor crap. So, they finally need a rebuild. So that's what I'm gonna do. Run through them and I'll show you all everything that I've done to them to make them work with boost, which isn't that. It's not that big of a deal. As long as you're not running more than, you know, 20 pounds of boost, 15 pounds of boost, whatever. Alright, got the bowls all cleaned up. I ain't trying to make it pretty, I'm just cleaning it up. Meter and plates. Gaskets are war slap out. This is the other carburetor, ain't done yet. There's main body, there's base plate. Got to dig out some new gaskets. Put it back together. But what I was talking about, these power valve restrictor circuits is what I enlarge and drill out the check ball, which is right yonder, gone, see? That way it'll still pick up, power valve will still work with right before boost comes in, because there's still a vacuum pocket under the carburetor, so it still works. Alright, front carb is done. Time for a second carb. See a difference? Alright, well there is our custom made drive shaft and it fits like a glove.
Yeah, it fits like a champion. About 1.5 inches out of the trend mixer, so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Alright, well we've built a drive shaft today and I rebuilt one carburetor, and I'm modifying this base plate to be a 4-corner adjustment. 4-corner idle adjustment. So I drilled, tapped it, and put a set screw in it and ground it down. I just got to find my file that got lost.
It's going to do a straight down. We found something else wrong with this car. It's leaking, so it's all apart.
They're leaking and it's just putting too much fuel, and it don't make no sense why I put so much fuel in. But that right there explains that.
Plus, you found a bunch of shit he hadn't done to him before he's going to do to now.
And that make them much better. So maybe next Saturday, street dyno.
We hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
Be nice.
It's hard to keep a carburetor clean. I don't really trust clean carbs anyway. But I don't. You know, a carburetor that's dirty ran good.
True. Unless it's new.
I don't even trust new carbs. Never had one. Couldn't tell you what they're like.
Yeah, we ain't never had new.
God no. How much it costs to get a new carb?
Some of the bitches are way high, I know that.
Yeah, you do this and you can bake it or put it on the motor as long as it don't leak. As long as it gets up to operating temperature and cools back off, that paint will harden up. It does pretty good. It ain't impervious to fuel, but it resists it pretty good. But I got the other one all tore apart and cleaned. Got all my gaskets and crap laying there. Just got to put it back together. I'm changing the base plate to a different base plate. This base plate will go on that carb. But when I built these, that was a long, long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that's some of his first experimentation.
This is the first one I ever built. I got that carburetor from Turkey when I painted that rat fink on his trunk. He gave me that carburetor and it was awful. And then I rebuilt it and ran it on the 74. That was the first double pump I ever had, because you had that little 600 on it when we run at Bristol. And I went at like a 1360 something with crap timing, HEI distributor, and a little 600.
I got you. Still went though.
Yeah, 8-to-1 compression. Alright, well that's a wrap. I'm going to clean up and we're heading out of here.
Have a good week, everybody.
Yep.
It was good.
Okay, so finally got this filed. Turn this 2-circuit to a 4-circuit. Anyway, got this filed down. Had to borrow Dennis's file because Colton lost mine and I still ain't found it. But I got a file down where it was nice and true. Now I got to clean this up and put this base plate on my other 750. Okay, so I need to restrict the idle feed. It's right here. Sometimes you can drill this out and put you a jet up here, but I don't have the stuff to tap and I don't have the little jets and all that stuff. So what I have to do is, so I got a piece of wire. This is old Grumpy Jenkins trick to lean out the idle circuit. Take a 17 thousandths wire. This is 15. You put it in that circuit, and that reduces the size. And you just clamp it all together with the gasket. It stays in place and that restricts it. So no more super rich condition at idle. Which, if this was a big fancy pants carburetor, you could open these up, change the jet in that, and lean it out, just changing the jet. But these are old 750s, so that doesn't work. So I got this cleaned up, so I got to pull that base plate off and put this base plate on that, and then pull everything back apart and restrict the idle circuits. Like I said, I could drill them out, but I don't want to do all that. I'll just restrict them a little bit and see how good it does. That'll give me more adjustment on my four corner idles. Be able to reach it up or lean it out and it actually do what it needs to do. Okay, the actual idle restrictor circuit down inside there is 30 thousandths. Measures. So my 15 thousandths wire should cut it in half, roughly. All right, there's my wires, been in and tucked down, and the gasket will hold them in place. Now the idle circuit is now restricted a little more. All right, got all my parts and pieces painted. Let them sit in the sun, let them cure out a little bit, and I'll put them together, and then I'll bake carb. Both of them in the oven. 220 for about 30 minutes, and harden that paint up. But just the meter and plates and the base plates. Wasn't gonna paint them, but I figured why not? I had it apart. Now they'll probably leak like crazy. Now they'll probably leak like crazy because I painted them. All right, there they are. Drive valve restrictor circuits closed off. T slots, primary, secondary, opened up a little bit. Everything is exactly the same. Yep. No question about it. Alright. Got my carbs on. Was going to flip the pump on and check for leaks and set the floats and everything. But I left my keys at the house. So I have to wait till the morning. But they're on there. Look a lot better. Now they got a little paint on them and cleaned up, man. Alright then. It's good. Alright, got Codys carburetor on there. Fired up, did a little bit of tweaking on it. Haven't had to adjust the mixture screws at all yet. Set the floats. Want to make sure they're still where they need to be. They're a little high. Might need to drop it down a little more. But flip everything on and spin it over. No pump shot. Make sure.
come back, was checking everything. Put the vacuum gauge on it. This thing's pulling about 6 inches of vacuum in idle. So we're going to put a 3.5 power valve in it instead of the 6.5, and that ought to get rid of that little hesitation, because it's just enriching it when it don't need to be enriched.
I figured out what that rattling noise is. It's got the electric cutouts on it, and that's the little thing sitting there. You can see them clicking. I don't ever pay attention to it when I'm in the truck. Yeah. But when I watch the video, I'm like, oh, I can hear it. Somebody said something in the comments. What's that rattling? I said, I think it's something off the exhaust. Yeah. And then we got under it to look.
The shift light comes on at about 62, somewhere in there, and I'm shifting at about 7. Yeah, it threw the GoPro off. But did you hear the hesitation's almost gone now? It needs like a 2.5 instead of a 3.5, but she's right there. And open up that secondary sooner helped a lot too. It's just clean. Oh man, it runs good. All right, that was cool. Threw the GoPro off so you can get to see our second little launch, but Carla was filming it. But it runs way better. Almost got rid of the little hesitation completely. So it needs a 2.5 power valve instead of a 3.5 or a 3. So I'll find the link and send him one. He can get one of them and put it in there, or just leave it like it is. You'd be fine to leave it like it is because it runs along clean. It cruises fine. So, well, we took it up road a couple times this one, and it's a lot stouter than it was before. Definitely likes the carburetor. Cool little truck. I'm gonna walk down here and film the street where he's doing all the burnouts. Well, not only burnouts, we're just launching it. That's all blacked up. Looks good. But there's the 950 on Codys S10. That's the one I built in the last video, the previous video. It done awesome. He's very happy with it. So that's cool. We're gonna see that truck at the track real soon. I guarantee you, he's got the bug. He's grinning from ear to ear. And it sucks that the GoPro flew off, but it's running good. I'm impressed with it. Oh yeah, she's all blacked up. That's cool right there. All right, so that's a wrap. Cody's happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody get up there and do some burnouts.